Welcome to season 4 of the Outstanding Women Leaders Witty and Wise Conversations. I'm your host, Katie L. Leeds, founder and chief owl at Outstanding Women Leaders, Owl Professional Coaching and Podcast, an organization dedicated to empowering women leaders. Owl is on a mission to host 100 million witty and wise conversations that disrupt the way leaders think and inspire you to disrupt business as usual in your brain. This disruption begins with a set of rules to guide our conversation today. Number 1, nobody gets to be wrong. Number 2, nobody gets to be right. Number 3, everybody gets to be vulnerable. And number 4, everything is included. We do not edit here. This conversation is exactly what it needs to be in this moment in time. We've asked our guests to join us via video to allow us to create authentic connection. Eyes are the window to the soul. You will be seen here. You will be heard. There's space for you. When this conversation comes to a close, I will ask our guests 3 questions. If you've tuned in before, you know what they are. And if you haven't, you don't want to miss them. But enough about me. Today, I'm excited to welcome Outstanding Women Leader, Victoria Flowers. Born in Washington, D.C., raised in Charolette, North Carolina, and attending college at Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina. She studied business, finance, and music. She also has 2 beautiful children, De'Erica, who resides in LA, and Antonio, currently residing in Charlotte, North Carolina. After college, she moved back to the DC area and grew her mortgage business, consisting of her opening up a mortgage broker office in 2006 with 8 loan officers and a processor. She's been working in the mortgage industry for approximately 32 years because, like every child, her dream was to grow up to be a mortgage loan officer. As we talk on the bonus episode, you'll hear what her childhood dream was and how she ended up landing in the mortgage loan place. A woman that likes math. I don't meet very many of those. I hate math. So it's always good to know that women out there can do it if they want to.
Yes.
Victoria is currently working in New American Funding as a senior loan officer, where she was selected as the Tennessee Mortgage Bankers Future Leader. Within her mortgage business, she serves in the Knoxville Mortgage Bankers Association, which is where I met her here in Knoxville, Tennessee. She also is currently licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, and she's also services 48 states. In addition to her talent in math, she has been singing since the age of 7 when her parents bought her a Donnie and Marie Osmond microphone and tambourine set. Not dating herself, but dating herself. She also played the violin from 3rd grade through college. We both have this lovely background of being I was in the orchestra as well, the woodwind section though. And as most singers, she started singing in church as a child. And this is where we differ because I had a terrible voice, even though I did choir. Music has always been key in her family. I love to sing. I just don't feel like I'm very good at it. I'm always making up lyrics. What I love about Victoria is her family is so rooted in this music. Her grandmother was an opera singer and recorded with her grandfather in Washington, D.C. as the Richburg Singers. She grew up singing in church, gospel. She sung backup, great gospel artists such as Daryl Coley, Tremaine Hawkins, Latrice Pace, the Pace Singers, Bobby Jones, Vashawn Mitchell. Man, you just go all out. Tanya Blount, Sister Act 2, and the stellar award-winning Charles Butler, just to name a few. Her classical training singing was in high school and college, playing the violin, singing in several musicals, such as The Sound of Music, Oklahoma. A singer from a young age, but not one to pursue it until 2019 when she lost her father. Victoria's father encouraged her to step outside the box and explore life. In 2019, she became a flight attendant at the age of 49, which relocated her to Knoxville, bringing her mortgage business and singing all over with her band, as now made for a very interesting turning 52 years old and enjoying the ride. Victoria, welcome. One of the longest bios I've had to read because you've done so much.
And I was like, I kept deleting and deleting and deleting. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make that small.
Do not make yourself smaller. I love it. And now I have to ask all the questions about the famous people, including, so I don't do names.
Okay.
So who are these famous people? I know Sister Act 2. Who is Tanya? Is it Blount?
Tanya Blunt, who
Blunt.
is now, I don't know if you've heard of the War and Treaty out of
No.
Nashville.
No.
They're getting ready to go, they're about to go on tour with Chris Stapleton. They just recently posted that on Facebook. But yeah, amazing. We sung on praise and worship together at our church in Maryland. And she's just a sweet and humble and a powerhouse singer. Like, oh, I remember when she left our church and they wanted me to sing a song that she was leading. I said, I can't sing that song after her. Are you kidding me? But no, she's amazing. But the other artists are gospel artists. Charles Butler, so very, very, very proud of him. He was in our church as well. And now his dream of being a Stellar Award winner, it has come true. So when I was watching the Stellar Awards last year and I saw it, I was like, oh my God, I know him. You know. So yeah,
That's amazing. So we, in our bonus episode, we talk about you wanting to be a backup singer, but you failed to mention that you have been a backup singer for some pretty big names.
Yeah, it was like gospel music, it's church. It was church. It wasn't like secular.
As women, we downplay so much. If that was on a man's resume, it might as well have been the Oscars, the Super Bowl, and the Grammys all in one. So own that. And of course, I have a face now to put to names. Names I'm not great at. So now I know exactly who some of these people are that you're talking about.
Yes.
And you were up there. You didn't just sing alongside them or even replace them when they left. You have the pipes and you're bringing them to Knoxville. Let's start there.
Okay. I guess, yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's been fun. And I just, they say I am just always not good at talking about myself, but I'm not. And I still feel that I'm an okay singer. You got some people out here, oh, I'm one of the best singers and blah blah blah. And I don't feel that way. But I enjoy it. And it's like my band, the Vertical Birds, they are amazing. You have to look them up. Those guys are awesome. And we've become a family. And they laugh because when we first started, it was like I was so nervous before every show. I'm just like, oh my God. I felt like my heart was like in my throat. And they're like, we don't understand. You say you're nervous, but then as soon as you get that first song out the way, it's just like, and I'm like, no, I'm still nervous, even when I'm singing. Like voice is shaking. But
yeah, we talked earlier about the open throat. I have the open throat as well. And anytime I go on camera or on stage, I have that same nervousness. Like I don't have consistent access to what I'm going to say. And when you talk about I'm not a great singer. I know you're a great singer, but what you're really talking about is consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you take any little tiny mistake you make becomes, now I'm not a great singer because I'm not consistent.
Yeah.
You consistently have fun.
I do. Now that's consistent.
That's right. Every time you open your mouth and sing a song, you know that it's going to be fun and you're going to have a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun. I mean, every time I have, even when I, decide to play with a new artist, like, guitar players, the last 3 gigs I did were different guitar players, and I had not done an acoustic set. And oh my God, each time they just all brought their own energy and their own thing. And I was just like, man, that was fun. And, that's what I portray on Facebook. I just say, these guys were awesome.
Yeah. And so tell us a little bit about how your dad inspired some of this to happen for you at the very young age, even of giving you this tambourine set.
Well, like I said, it's been on both sides of my family. Like my dad's side of the family, I remember the Flowers family reunion. There was always singers in the family, and they'll open up the family reunion with singing some old gospel or spirituals or something like that. And some of them still that live in D.C., they're still doing a lot of things musically and recording and stuff. And then on my mom's side, like I mentioned, my grandma, it's like, man, I tell people my grandma was an opera singer, and I was just like, yeah. I remember riding in the car with her, and when Whitney Houston just did I Will Always Love You, and grandma was just sitting on the passenger side. I was driving, and at the end when she hits that really high note, that I have to position myself to hit that high note. No, she had the seat back like this, and she was just like, how did you do that? And you're sitting back. The seat is all back. But yeah, so it's in us, I didn't. Mom and dad both could sing. My brother could really sing too. Dad always wanted me and my brother to sing together, and we never did. The first time we sung together was at my dad's funeral. And it wasn't a dry eye in the place after that. So we fulfilled that for him. So now I feel like every time I get on stage now, I feel like I'm doing it for my dad. Happy.
That's a really great piece of advice of thinking about how do you get over your stage fright. So I've lost my mom as well in 2018, and I never thought about that and going on stage and honoring my mom so that I'm kind of, getting over myself essentially, which is what you talk about.
Yeah. Because like my really, really nervous times, I always say a prayer and talk to my dad, and he's like, okay, Dad, I'm doing this for you. You got to be with me. You got to be with me on this one. So, yeah.
So you moved to Knoxville and you're in just the music scene. And then one day someone says, why don't you come up here and sing? This is how you got started.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And how long has it been since that?
October 21 was my very, very first gig.
October 21.
Yep. And I was like, are you sure you want me to do this? And it was for 3 hours. I was like, I have 3 hours of singing? That is a lot. But now it's not. You can take breaks.
Amazing. In addition to that, you're also rocking it as a flight attendant. Please tell me you get on that little speaker and you are just going to give people a little tune that you belt out. I need to hear about this.
So I did, when was it? Going into 2022? Yeah, that New Year's Eve flight. And I'll never forget. Oh my God, it just started out horribly because I had plans for New Year's Eve. Because I said we were going to get back about 10:30. No, we had a huge delay, major delay. And so I think we went to Texas, somewhere in Texas. We knew we were going to be, it's going to be close to midnight when we got back. And I was lead flight attendant that day. And I was like, we're getting ready to land in Knoxville. We have 4 more minutes. And I looked at the flight attendant beside me. I said, I'm going to sing Should All Acquaintance Be Forgot on the PA. She was like, do it. So we ended up having this lady in front of us. She actually recorded it. I posted it on Facebook too in December. And I didn't post it until after I quit the airline because I could have gotten in trouble and gotten fired for doing that. So I ended flight attendant in February of last year. So I was like, okay, I can post this now. And it just, because people were so sad because they were trying to give back to their loved ones before midnight. And just to hear the cheers, and they were happy about that. And yeah. And when we landed, we told the captain, he was like, what was that cheering? I kind of sung to them while we landed.
So they can't hear any of that stuff.
They can hear some stuff, yeah. But they just heard a lot of cheering, but they didn't hear me singing.
Wow.
So yeah.
Learning all the ins and outs of the flight attendant world. Amazing. I have chills. It's like a movie scene that you hear about, right?
Yeah.
Getting to see.
Yeah.
And
I like it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. I would do my stand-up comedy if I ever became a flight attendant, and I probably would be escorted off the plane by the pilot when I was done. So I guess
we all do that too now. We do that as well, because there is a part of our announcement that said that you cannot appear to be intoxicated and we won't serve you any beverage. So I would turn around and look at them and say, don't appear to be intoxicated. And they'll bust out laughing. I was like, that's all I got.
I love that. So you moved to Knoxville to be a flight attendant and the pandemic hits. What a time to be alive as a flight attendant. And truthfully, to still be alive. We're happy you're still here with us. Thank you for your service.
Felt like really here.
Yeah. And you ditched that pandemic job for the post-pandemic music, which for me, music stirs the soul. This is what I love about music. It is the common language that we all have. You have a little kid hear music and they're going to move. And,
yes.
a soul stirred does things, and your soul has been stirred to sing and continue to write those mortgages for us. Tell us about the doors that have opened up for you in Knoxville with mortgages as well.
Well, I was a little nervous about it because I didn't know anybody. And whenever you switch locations, it's like you have to like reinvent yourself to people, and you have to like, trust me, use me. And they're like, we don't know who you are. You're some implant from North Carolina, and we already have our guy or our girl over here. So it's like, it's a lot of work, going to a lot of networking events, which is how I met you. But it's like you're on 1,000 at these network events, and you just got to be like, smile, hi, have a glass of wine. And then when you leave, it's like you're exhausted. And so like, I got to talk to X amount of people before I leave here tonight. And I got to get X amount of cards, and just bringing all the cards home and having to load it up in the CRM so they don't forget you. But it's like the more I go to them, the more people begin, oh yeah, I remember you. And then it's always cool when they say, well, what else do you do? And I say, I sing, you should come to my show. so to have them come to my show is like, it's helping build that rapport. And it's,
I feel like there's some passion around the singing mortgage brand that maybe you could develop. Maybe I could write a little like jingle for you. Like now, of course, I'm on the spot. I've got nothing about like, you want your mortgage done? Like, give me some time. I'll come up with something. You've already got something, don't you?
No, but that's so funny. No, it's just so funny. And it's sitting right here, and it's never sitting here. But last year at our Tennessee Mortgage Bankers Convention, they had a draw. And so they did this. So it was like the singing loan officer that they did for me.
Singing loan officer. There you go. Now we're getting the wheels turning. Like, Geico has his little thing. I feel like the singing mortgage loan officer has something there as well, right?
And even with that, they just a few months ago, they asked me to sing the national anthem to open up our huge convention in Memphis before the guest speaker. I was like, me? You want me to do it for all those people? Because it's like
Victoria, you got to stop downplaying yourself. You have too many famous people in your family and in your friends line that you've sung alongside for you to dismiss yourself so easily. That's right.
That's my goal for 2023. Don't downplay yourself.
All right. Well, here's my magic wand, and there you go. You now have it. Do you need a badge of courage on the lion? Do you need some heart, Tin Man? What is it that you need? I'm the man behind the curtain that will help you with that.
That's it. Just more confidence. How about that?
More confidence, maybe less networking, more mortgage loaning. Tell us how to follow you, how to find you, how to book you, and what kind of events are people booking you for?
On my Facebook page, of course, it's Victoria Flowers. That's it. Nothing. Everybody's like, is that your stage name? I said, no, my daddy gave me that name. His name was Odell Flowers.
I was born with a stage name because I was born for the stage. I love that.
So a lot of people book me from there, and then, or I just have the same places book me over and over and over again. And they either go on my Facebook page to start, but they have my email address, which is victoriasings70@gmail.com. And they just reach out to me. What was your other question?
And then mortgages. How does someone get a hold of you? Where do they find you?
Well, New American Funding And then there's a dash and it's Victoria Flowers, New American Funding. Yeah.
New American Funding. And you have any professional Instagram page? You're just Victoria Flowers on Instagram?
No, on Instagram. And I know, you know how you have your name and then you change it because somebody told me that I needed to. Someone told me
People always have opinions about the Insta. Yeah.
They're just like, no, change your name on Instagram. So every time somebody say, oh, what's your Instagram handle? And I'm like, hold on, let me look it up. It's Victoria M Flowers 70 on Instagram.
So that other Victoria Flowers that I followed is not you.
No,
No,
in there.
I did get you. Amazing. Victoria, we're gonna get to our three questions, but before we do that, there's a part of your story we haven't told yet that I feel is really important. You've been through a lot to get to Knoxville. I'd love for you to share a little bit about, just to inspire women out there that are really going through it.
Well, yeah, I've been through a lot, like my whole entire life, actually. But I'll start with 2019, since that brought me to Knoxville. So just in 2019 alone, I ended my marriage. My father passed away. I started a new career, got rid of the house and uprooted myself, and went from a 5-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom apartment, and just been finagling my way through life. It was just very difficult. And then just even the last 4 months, I lost 2 aunts. I lost my mother on Thanksgiving. And 2 weeks ago, I just had major surgery. And I'm still smiling. I'm still here. I feel like that there's still purpose for me. So I got to keep going. I can't give up. Now, trust me, I do have those nights where I just want to sit on the couch and eat ice cream and cry, or drink a whole bottle of wine and just cry. I think I had one of those maybe a few nights ago, actually. So not to portray it as being super woman, which, I am. I am Wonder Woman. That's like my favorite hero. But I gotta keep going. Gotta keep going no matter what. I'm still smile. And as you can see, it's like this singing, mortgages have been extremely slow here lately, but I'm just grateful that God is giving me my voice. And it's like, wow, these gigs are starting to pay bills now, So that's just a little indication that, just keep going. Something positive is going to happen for you. I think. I know.
Yeah, your story is so inspiring because you take some of the rubble and you build with it and from it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just trying to, outrun it or kick it aside.
Mm-hmm.
And divorce and death are two of the hardest for a family member. It's so hard to
really
experience. Is. And it's been a tough year for everyone. Do you have something that you're passionate about sharing on how to heal yourself through these hard times?
Well, I did like your question. And it's so funny. I was talking to a friend of mine last night and I was like, how should I answer this question? And he just like hit the nail on the head. And I was like, absolutely. And he said, what is your superpower? Your superpower. And I feel like my superpower is my faith. I grew up a church girl. I'm still a church girl. Do I do everything right? No, but who does? All I know is God loves me and he forgives me. But without my faith, I don't think I could do anything. So having my faith and knowing what the promises of God is in my life, it's like, he's not going to leave me in this place long because he promised me he wouldn't, So it's like, even though, life is punching me day in and day out, I know it's just for a season. I know that, he's already showed me where I have been and fell down and he brought me out. So it's like, it's just a matter of time because life really hit me hard. And I'm just like, okay, God, okay, your turn. It's your turn. So yeah, my faith is definitely my superpower.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your purpose?
Well, my purpose, I always felt, and I said this to my pastor in Charlotte back in 2017, 2018, when he asked me what was I wanting. So a lot of people don't know that I'm also a licensed minister.
Was not on your bio.
It was not. No, I told you I don't do everything right. I forgot about that. How you forget about that? But so he had asked me what is my my purpose in regards to that. And I basically said that I feel that I want to encourage and empower other women. I want to deal with broken women. Since I have been broken in so many pieces several different times and was just able to put myself back together, with the help of God. And I just want to be able to pour into women and just say, look, you got to look at yourself. I don't want to tell my idea, but I know I was planning on doing a women's end of the year brunch last year with this past December. And it's so crazy. The day that I wanted for the end of the year brunch was actually the day of my mom's funeral. So I just thought that was like, whoa, but I'm still going to do it. Where I want women to look at themselves in the mirror and like what they see. It took me a long time to get to that point, but I like what I see. Except when my gray hairs are showing, but other than that.
I haven't found someone to color my hair yet. We might have to talk offline.
My daughter. Oh, we got to fly her back down here. Because you look her up on Instagram. But yeah, she came here after my surgery and she gave me a lot of hair coloring.
I need hair coloring and I need someone that can do a curly cut. These are the two things I have. We'll talk offline about that. So you buried the lead. Your purpose in life, and this is your ministry, this giving back and helping women. And that's what I always ask people. What is your purpose? That ministry that we're called to do. And that Wonder Woman superhero that you talked about. So that's my archetype in my coaching. And I talk about my lasso of truth.
Yeah.
And how healing truth is and how we run from it. And when we allow it to squeeze us and really be with it, it allows us to work through it. So I would love to be able to promote whatever brunch that you decide to have coming up, whatever idea when you're ready to drop it. I'm all here for that here at Outstanding Women Leaders. I love that helping women. Of course, is something that I'm passionate about as well. That brings me to my third and final question. What's next for you?
Well, like I said, that I was leading up into that from the last thing, but I would love to have a platform. As nervous as I get in front of the microphone, I would love to be that woman that people not only book just to sing, but I want to be able to host things that, maybe write a book. My mother told me to write a book years and years and years and years ago. And I was just like, Mom, nobody want to hear about my life. But
I do.
Because it starts really, really young and moves on. And I should be technically, by world standards, I should be probably in a straitjacket somewhere, padded walls or whatever.
Yeah, I've had one of those visits, but they didn't make me stay.
But I would love to have a platform created for me to be able to. I want to carry on, my dad's name. And just people just know Victoria Flowers. Oh my God, not just the loan officer, not just the singer, but this is this powerful motivational speaker woman. And she's helped several people. That's what I want. I don't think I've ever said it out loud. This is my first time saying it out loud.
Well, this is a very magic podcast. I talked about being the man behind the curtain over here. So if that's what you need, a platform, we're handing those out today for those that are listening. And you always have a platform to come back to here at OWL. Anything that you want to promote, more bonus episodes. I would love to have you on again. And I can't wait to watch you flower and blossom and bloom and all of the things and build that platform and connect you to. I have some people I want to connect you to now. So
Yay.
As we wrap up, and your story is very deep and vast, we just scratched the tiniest surface of that. I always give my guests the last word, so feel free to drop advice, tell another story, knowledge, whatever you feel is right.
Some advice. It's so funny because yesterday, like I think you must have had me. You must was listening in on our phone, but at our Knoxville Mortgage Bankers Association luncheon yesterday, they had pieces of paper. And they told us to just write on a piece of paper, just encourage somebody at the table and fold it up and then just let whoever pick whichever one. And what I wrote on that paper was, life will hit you hard, but you have to keep pushing because you won't ever get to see the end result if you give up. So don't give up, keep going, keep pushing.